So welcome to the Tech Shift in Health. And I have with me here wonderful Elizabeth. Welcome.
Thanks.
I'm glad to have this conversation with you. Before we begin, I would like to check the room temperature. So how many of you are working in the health tech investing or maybe founders? All right. And how many of you are already ahead of the game with AI when it comes to health data? Good. So I guess let's dive in with the beginning of our conversation. And if you have any questions, we will try to leave a room for a question or two for us to get most of our lovely late afternoon here on the first day of South Summit. So Elizabeth, welcome. Really glad to see your big smile and you working on an incredibly impactful mission. Maybe you can introduce yourself and tell us with the audience more how you're changing the world right now.
Well, changing the world. Thanks so much for this invitation. Very happy to be here. So, I work in Ona Labs. In Ona Labs, so we are a startup that we have been working during I think more than 10 years, working in a technology in order to monitor in real time and totally non-invasive way different internal biomarkers using sweat. Because we strongly believe that the sweat is going to be the future biofluid, because at the end what we want is big data and continuous, to use artificial intelligence, but not only that. So at the moment we have right now one biggest problem, with the healthcare systems, because most of the decision the physician takes is just with a few snapshots of the patient, And it's very difficult because at the end is our biology doesn't work with the snapshots. It's just not in continuous, So it's not possible to monitor and to make decisions just without a picture. And this is why we are trying in Ona Labs, just to convert through the sweat from pictures to video. So
Okay.
this is our goal.
Wow, that's a great goal. If we go a few steps back, how did you find out that we can get such data from the sweat?
Wow.
And did it take you, like, literally, how long did it take you to get where you are right now?
Yeah, so, it's a story that I like it a lot because, I'm a biochemist. I have a PhD in biotechnology, but the other co-founder is Xavi Muñoz, and he's right now is the chief scientific officer. Unfortunately, one of the oldest daughter of Xavi was born with a cardiopathology congenital and was to spend a lot of days in the neonates unit, And there's a big problem in the neonates unit because for the neonates, they need to make blood extractions that are very, they need to extract a lot of quantity of blood, just to monitor basic parameters, lactate, pH, glucose, And they suffer not only stress, because they stress a lot, they suffer infections, thrombosis, even death. Yeah, and I was working some years ago in the hospital, in Valldebron Hospital. That it is one of the biggest hospitals here in Spain. And we spoke with the head of neonates unit in the hospital, and they say, "Oh, why if we can try to develop some technology just without using blood extractions?" And this is why we entering into the scenario, because Xavi also participated some years ago with sweat projects. Try to do that, and
Wow.
This is why we start all the story.
That's very inspiring. And building in deep tech, and especially health tech, it has lots of regulations and obstacles, right? What made you keep going to get to the point you are right now? And what are major, I wouldn't say fight, challenges or problems you had to solve?
Wow. I think, I don't know if there's something, someone of you, but one of the biggest challenge here is the regulatory pathway, for sure. Even more in Europe, because one of the problems that we have here in Europe, and when we speak with the notified bodies, is there's no any regulation about the timelines, When you make the pre-submission in the FDA, for example, okay, I'm doing the pre-submission right now, but I have 6 months after receiving the first feedback. But nothing about that with the notified bodies here, and that's absolutely nightmare, because at the end, we are small companies, the budget is also always, a critical point, and you can start the process, but you never know when the notified body is going to ask you. Yeah, so this is for me is one of the biggest challenge. Yeah, but there's a lot of other biggest challenges. Also, for example, for sure, as a small company, the funding is another one. But it is not the more critical. For example, we are now facing another challenge that is more related. Okay, what we have right now is technology able to monitor data in continuous. That's fantastic. But the system, the problem is that the healthcare system is not prepared for that, unfortunately, right now. And this is a must, no? That not only the patient, the physician, so all the stakeholders need to be prepared and aligned on that.
But it seems like when it comes to technology in the healthcare system, we have big stagnation and lots of rejections from the different systems, and especially in Europe, it's very decentralized. How do you cope with that, and how can we make actually the most use of the available technology nowadays to actually become the patient first, rather than just tackling the symptoms?
Yeah, that's absolutely a problem, because at the end is, I think that one of the things that we need to do is cooperate more than compete, and we need to start with a lot of pilots with hospital, but they need to involve in the digitalization and to be ready, to adapt these technologies, and also it's a must to cooperate also with the digital platforms, with big corporates and all the healthcare systems, and not only, for example, we can start here in Spain, but at the end is more or less the same, and the challenges are the same around around Europe and around all the healthcare systems around the world. Yeah.
So we all speak nowadays everywhere AI. How do we use AI? So how does the latest technology innovation when it comes to artificial intelligence actually support your company development and what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. So during these years, we have put all the efforts in order to develop the technology, the measurement, because we need sensors in order to understand how this new biofluid we can extract the data. So we have invested a lot in the hardware and the sensors, but for sure, it's a must to put artificial intelligence in the scenario. So we also have developed a lot of algorithms in order to do the bioequivalences, because we are facing, at the end, is we are not comparing, because what we want not is to compete with the gold standard, that is the blood, but we can add more information, because the problem is that nowadays, when one patient goes to the doctor, it's because they have had some symptoms, and they go to the hospital maybe or the healthcare center 2 times per year, 3 times per year. But the thing is that because of the biology, and the 90% of the time of the chronics lives outside the healthcare systems, we need more data, to understand how affects. Because if you go to the hospital and make some blood extraction at 9 o'clock of morning, this is the information of just this time, but not during all this period. What happens in how affect your daily life, your stress, how you food, how your, if you do exercise or not. So it's something important here to put artificial intelligence to manage all this longitudinal data.
Yeah. So when it comes to Onolab, so are you now focused more on B2C or B2B? Or what's your ideal client? Because also I was reading and digging more information that you also have the wearables for when it comes to athletes a bit, for sports, if I'm not misleading, right? Maybe you can tell us a bit more. How did you define your customer base? And
so at the end is because we started with a mindset to be a healthcare and medical company, but because of the pathway is no easy. So at the end, you need to, with this technology that we can monitor lactate, for example, which customers could be interested in that? And this is, we spoke some years ago with one physician that works in the sport field, and that's fantastic what you're doing, because if you can monitor lactate, nowadays the athletes need to stop the training, make some punctions, and just have punctual data. So if you're available to monitor in real time continuously the lactate, at the end the athletes could be able to monitor, to change the protocols of training, and increase the performance and achieve better results and taking care of their health. Yeah, and this is why we have started with the sport in the sport field, and now we have Football Club Barcelona Barça as a shareholder of Labs, that it is good for us as a small company. And in the sport field, we have two business models, one B2B and one B2C, because at the end it's a market that is very different than the healthcare market, the medical market, yeah? But as I told you, we started Labs at the beginning to do a medical device company or a medical company. And because of that, we are now, for example, closing deals like to B2B with distributors, with digital platforms, etc. So for the medical side, for us, now it's more B2B than B2C. In the sports, we use both.
And then you have the device, something
Yeah.
to measure, right?
So,
and how expensive is it to make that device, actually?
that's a good question.
If I can ask. Like,
yeah, sure.
Because usually, deep tech, lots of money goes to actually creating the sensoring devices at the beginning and innovating on that.
So we have different devices, yeah. And for example, we have devices. This is a medical device. Not yet, so let's see if in 2 months we can finish the regulatory. It's a class 2B, yeah. And then we have a pulsometer that it is like, pulsometer that you can monitor heart rate, but we have a cartridge behind that then the sweat enters in the channel and you can monitor in real time different biomarkers, yeah. And the price of both approximately is around 200 or 300 euros, yeah. But depending on the data that you can get, you need also to pay for the subscription, because one thing is that to monitor that biomarkers using sweat, we use cartridge consumables, because we need to ensure that the sweat is fresh. It's something important. Also because we use proteins, enzymes to monitor.
So basically, if let's say I'm training, I'm wearing your device, I'm able to measure my lactate and improve my performance based on the data that we get from your app and analyzing. So we get into another part, data, safety, and analyzing. Who is analyzing the data, and how can we trust that data is analyzed without taking a very, let's say, small sample?
Yeah, that's one of the most challenging things that we have suffered, because at the end, what we want is, nowadays all the physicians, all the coaches, they do understand very well the methods that nowadays use, but what we are putting in the scenario is a new biofluid, a new way to understand that the thing is not just a static situation. We are alive. So our biology is continuously. So we need to understand and monitor in a different way, and it is not simple. Because of that, we work a lot with different key opinion leaders, with physicians, that they understand that something new is possible, because it's not easy to change paradigms, yeah. And we work a lot with different coaches and different experts in order to test our validations. It's something that it's not possible to do it just by yourself. You need to cooperate with experts and so on. And obviously we come from technology, so we do papers and so on, and a lot of validations.
And how competitive is the market right now? How competitive is the market? What's the competition landscape?
So the competitors is different, because we have different groups. If we are looking for just sweat, there's a few competitors, because it's very new, Nowadays, there appears some more companies in the scenario, because I think that it's easy to understand that it's fantastic biofluid for the AI era, yeah. But now, for example, we compete with these people, with this company that most of them are in US, yeah. But also we compete with different companies like aura, you know.
I was about to follow up as well, like
Okay.
how do you keep the competition in the lead?
But at the end is, with all these companies, and there are big companies, we are a small company, but they monitor right now just the surface, you know. What we are monitoring is the biochemical, internal biochemicals of the body, you know. They monitor a lot of different biomarkers, how you slept, about the heart rate, you know. But what we want is to understand better what happens inside, not just the surface, yeah? So it's different the technology is very different, the approach, yeah.
So I have a couple of more questions, and if you have any questions from the audience, think about that, and then we move to the Q&A from the audience. So one more question. We are in the startup conference, right? You're building in deep tech, and always one of the first things, or one of the key things we are being challenged, budgets. So what is your story? Did you get some grants? Did you bootstrap, or have you raised some funds?
Yeah, it's a must. So we started from the beginning without nothing, just with 2 laptops and 700 euros. Yeah. So from the beginning, we have we have raised a lot of money in public grants, so national and European ones. So we have raised, I think, around 5 million from public grants, and we have raised a lot of private equity also. Now, next week, let's see, we're going to close the Series A investment round. And
I think we need to clap for this, guys. Woohoo!
Thanks so much.
All right.
And for us, it's important because at the end, with this Series A, during all this day, we have all these years, we have invested a lot in the technology, and now we need to invest in commercialization. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and we have raised more than 12 or 13 millions on private.
Still have some questions about the team, but maybe we have some questions from the audience, and that will guide us further. Any questions from the audience? Anything you want to know? Yes. Do we have a microphone maybe that we can use? Thank you. All right, the microphone is coming. Yeah, it's there on the third row. Let's try again. No? It should. 1, 2, 3. Maybe we.
No.
Okay, great.
I got it. Okay. I think it's working. Thank you. Congratulations on the project. Sounds fantastic.
Thanks.
And again, congratulations on Series A. Very good tipping point. My question was, how would you describe your business model?
Okay, that's an important question. So because it's something that we discuss a lot now, how to do the market entry and the business model. So at the end is we have developed these wearables, but we want not to be just a wearable or medical device company because it's not, our goal is not just to sell devices by itself. Our goal in the future is to develop the largest sweat digital biomarker platform. At the end is this the add value. So we are changing right now, and thanks to the Series A, we are going to invest more in changing the business model because until now we sell the devices, we sell the consumables, yeah, but we want to make this change to the big data because at the end is the added value is if we can get data from your body in continuous, and we can cross with other companies, with other technologies. So at the end, we cross the data. And this is the added value to get this longitudinal data because it's going to help your health, you know, to allow the personalization and to help you at the end. So we are changing the business model right now. For us, for example, it has no sense to sell the technology, sell the product just by ONA Labs. So our goal is to close partnership with big corporates and who is in the diabetes market, for example. So let's close an agreement with diabetes. Who is in the biggest football club? No, this is why we have a Barca as a shareholder. So this is our goal.
Do we have any more questions from the audience? We can see the hand there. That's a very ambitious goal. It will be very interesting to follow. I understand it's still going to be some pivots, but that's really good.
Okay. Hello. I also came from the medical device development field, and I would love to know what you find more challenging during the development of your product. It was funding, it was the technology. What was your pain in this product you have now?
During this journey, we have a lot of pains, unfortunately. Yeah. So one of the biggest pains is that to develop a technology that it is very disruptive, you need a lot of money, for sure. And you are not going to sales at the second day of the constitution of the company. So for that, you need to understand very well that you have the capability to raise money, and it's not easy to convince, no, once you started. Yeah. So this is one of the biggest problems. But the other is all the regulatory, because you start, and if you want to enter into the medical field in the regulatory market, it's absolutely, it's an absolutely nightmare. Yeah. So facing these two things, that okay, you are not selling, you have no money, and you need to face with the notified bodies. Oh, who is going to enter into this scenario and innovate? Nothing, nobody. So we need to change the rules. Yeah. I think that I have no idea, but I think that the European Commission is doing something about that in order to help the innovation, no?
They are actually working on that, yes.
Let's see.
We need to check the latest releases, but there is a focus. And I would like maybe to follow up on your recent funding round, or you working on that technology for over almost nearly a decade. The team, right? Who is behind? How many people do you have right now? And how many more are planning to join the team, especially nowadays when we're trying to optimize everything?
Yeah, the team is, it's a very critical point. I have to share that we are very, very happy with the team. Me special, I have to share. Now here's Xavi.
Hey, Xavi.
He's the co-founder,
nice.
And he's the brain of the company. Yeah. So first of all, I think it's very important if you set up a company, to choose the best partner to do the company. That's one thing. We started with the students from universities and research centers, and now we have 30 employees working in our labs, but most of them are engineers, specialized in nanotechnology and in bioengineering, And this is why also at the end is we need to enter into the commercialization. No? We need to change. What we want to do is, we need to change a startup for corp. Yeah, and because of that, we need also to hire people more in the business and commercialization part. Yeah, so we are in this phase at this moment.
That's a very, very fun phase to be. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us here today with Elizabeth and the story of Ona Labs. I hope you got inspired. I hope you learned. And if you have more questions, she is having some conversations tomorrow as well on Thursday. And we have a matchmaking app, so you can reach out on the app or maybe LinkedIn if you have more questions, or just find here right now after the sessions. Thank you for finding time, and have a great rest of the day, and see you later.
Bye.